Okay, we said in the one of our previous segments that the electromagnetic spectrum is caused by accelerating electric charges. So the question is, how can the electrical charges be accelerated? So one way of accelerating an electric charge is by oscillating it. So if you have electrons and then you put them into a wire or an antenna, and so that electricity is going up and down, well, as it's going up at a certain speed, but when it gets to the top, it's got to slow down and come to a stop. And then it has to speed back up again as it's going back down the antenna. So what does it mean when the speed is changing? It's accelerating. So as the electrons are accelerating up and down a antenna, what it's going to do is generate a radio wave. So that's where radio waves come from, is when electrons are vibrating. Okay, then the next thing is, well, what happens when atoms are moving sideways and bumping into each other? So as they are translating, which means moving sideways, they are going to be giving off infrared light. Another way that an atom can give off infrared light is by rotating. So do you remember, for example, that water was H2O? So it's got an oxygen, and then it's got two hydrogens on it like that. Well, you could take water and you could spin it. And so as it's spinning, it's going to be giving off infrared light, heat. Then you could also have atoms that are vibrating. So for example, here are the two hydrogens, and those two hydrogens could be doing this. They could be moving back and forth like that, so they could be vibrating, or the hydrogens could be doing this. So here's the oxygen, and the hydrogen could be moving in and out like a spring. So vibrations can also produce infrared light. Now the one that I'm really interested in, though, is electron jumps in the atomic hotel. So do you remember when we talked about atoms and we said that an atom had different energy levels, and then on each of the energy levels a certain number of electrons could live? Well, an electron that could be on this floor of the apartment building could jump to this floor up here. And so when it does so, it's going to absorb energy. So in order to take this pen and lift it up, I've got to put energy into the pen. So it's going to absorb energy when it goes up, and then when the electron comes back down, it's going to emit energy. Well, what kind of energy? Could be infrared light, could be visible light, it could be ultraviolet light. It all depends on the jump that the electron is making. So electron jumps in the apartment building of an atom is what's going to be producing infrared, visible, and ultraviolet light. And then, well, what's going to be causing the X-rays and the gamma rays? So those are going to be caused by nuclear jumps. So this was the atomic hotel, but there's another hotel in the basement. So in the basement of the atomic hotel is the nuclear hotel. What's going on in the nucleus of the atom? And so in the nucleus, that's where the protons and neutrons live. And they live on floors, just like they did in the atom. And so as they jump up and down, that's what's going to be producing the X-rays and the gamma rays. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we want to talk more about these floors and how do they produce light.